Hey, what's up? Tyler here. And in my last video, I just talked a little bit about this experience that I had where instead of serving money, being a slave to money, I decided that I was going to serve a higher cause and did some extremes, but it made all the difference in the world. Now, there was a time in between that time where I bought that program for $5,400 and right before I bought the $2,400 program, that week before, I was like so excited. Well, I was actually super depressed. But 2 weeks before, I was super excited and I was like, yeah, like I'm following all these impressions. I'm doing what I'm doing. And as I went out to go try to make some money, I remember just thinking, well, I was listening to Jim Rohn and he said, okay. And I was listening to it was a network marketing thing. And I was listening and I was like, okay. So he said, talk to 10, get one. Talk to 10, get one. Talk to 10, get one. And then he's like, you get better. Talk to 10, get two. Talk to 10, get two. Talk to 10, get two. And I realized, oh, well, the only reason I'm not making money is that I'm not talking to people. Like I have no people that I'm talking to. So therefore I'm not making any money. So I just need to talk to people. Talk to people, make money. Equation. So I was like, okay. So I was like, who do I talk to? I didn't know. So I was like, well, I'm just going to talk to 10, get one. That's what I was going for. And so I went out and I was in Branson, Missouri, and I was like, okay, I can do this. And I drive out. I was going, I don't know if you've ever been to Branson, but there's these like tourist traps. And looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, this was really embarrassing. But I had no concept of what I was teaching. I didn't know my avatar. I didn't know anything other than I heard Jim Rohn say, talk to 10, get one. So I was like, talk to people. So I drove to these tourist traps and I talked to all the owners of the tourist traps and I was like, hey, I'm Tyler. And back then I looked like I was 12 and now I look at least like I'm 16. So back then I was like talking and I was like in this striped shirt and oh man, it was horrible. And I had no idea what I was saying, no idea what I was offering. So I was like, I'm doing a free class on success principles to your business to help your business go to the next level. Are you interested? And I was so wishy-washy, unsure, not confident, had all my stuff coming up. It was horrible. And I went in and I talked to 10 people throughout the whole day. It took me all day just to talk to 10 people. And I had done stuff like I had been on a mission for 2 years, knocking doors and everything, but this was hard. This was so hard because I had no guidance, no skills, no nothing. And I was just like, well, talk to people, get numbers. That's what I was doing. So I went and I did this all day. And I would go in my car, write out why I felt like I just so sucked. And I was like, I literally feel horrible. I just got rejected by this dude in a cowboy hat. He called me some curse words and then I left. And I was like, okay, have a nice day. And then I just like walk in my car, process it all, write it out, tap on myself, work on myself. And I'm like, okay, I can become who it is. I can become who it is. And I had this vision. I wanted to make $10,000 in a month. And I wanted to buy my wife a grand piano. And she had always wanted a piano since she was little, but she could never afford it. She didn't have the money, her family. And she's a concert pianist, so I knew like I wanted to get her this grand piano. And if you have ever looked at grand piano prices, it's like a car or a house. They're kind of expensive. So I was like, okay, give me 5 years. When we first got married, I was like, give me 5 years, but I'm going to get you that grand piano. So that was the year into our marriage, and that first year, $12,500. I was like, at this rate, it's going to take a long time to get that grand piano. So I put a goal. I want to make 6 figures in a year. I want to make $10,000 in a month. I heard people do it, read books. So I was like, why not me? Why not? So I set this goal and I had a vision. And that's what drove me to just do what it took. Plus I was committed and I made a decision. And so I went out and I got rejected 10 times. Nobody, nothing, didn't get anybody interested. I had one person kind of sort of interested. They were intrigued. And they were kind enough, I think they felt sorry for me that they let me talk for like 20 minutes. So the next day I was like, okay, well that sucked. And a week went by and I was like, well, Jim Rohn, you let me down. I talked to 10 and got 0. So then I thought, well, Jim, I'm kind of ticked at you, but I'm going to keep going. So then the next week I decided I just need to talk to more people. So I decided, all right, I'm going to go talk to more people. So I drove then to a different town, 20, 30 miles away, Springfield, Missouri. And I was like, I'm going to go knock more doors and put in so many that I'm going to get at least one. So that day, I think I did I think it was like 16 people in a day. And so I talked to like 16 and I like put in a ton of people. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I talked to people at the mall. I went to like all sorts of just shops and talked to everybody I could and was like offering them free presentations and doing everything I knew how. Spent all day, a big whopping 0. Talked to 16, got 0. I was getting kind of mad at Jim Rohn right now. I was like, put back on his CD. Talk to 10, get 1. Talk to 10, get 1. I was like, what the heck? I've talked to 16. Yet last week I talked to 10, 0. This week, 16, 0. And I was like, man, I must either just really suck or something. Like, Jim, you're letting me down, dude. Talk to 10, get 1. Talk to 10. So I kept this mantra, like, talk to 10, get 1. Talk to 10, get 1. I can do this. I can do this. Go into the car, process. I went home, felt like a complete loser. My wife's super pregnant. I have no money. She's expecting me to go do something. She's like, I can make money and you can't. And like, I was like, well, you prove it. And she's like, I'm sick. And so I had to like step up, right? Which was really good for me. But I just wanted to go withdraw, play video games, check out, do pornography, do something to get my mind off of the pain and frustration of failing over and over and over. But I committed. So I went out, yelled at myself, and I was like, okay, I can do this. And then the next day, I was driving around again, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep putting in numbers till I get somebody. So first day was like 16. The next day I did 10. And so a total of 26 people in 2 days talking to business owners, people on the street. It might not sound like that much, but it felt like 100,000 people. And I was talking and I was sharing my message differently every time. And I was like, what's wrong with me? What do I do? Am I just messed up? God, do you really like care? Are you out there? Do you want me to succeed? Do you just want me to go bankrupt and fail? And I bought all these programs and they let me down. Had all the blame, all the shame, all the guilt, all the frustration. But I maintained the commitment. And I knocked the last door, number 26, a big whopping no. And I go in my car, and it's this little red car, and I remember just weeping. I was just crying. And I was just like, God, like, I know I have a message inside. I know I'm meant to do more on this planet. But I feel like everything is just opposing me. And I have no skills, and I don't know what to do, and I need help. But I felt so lost. And as I took a nap, I thought maybe when I wake up, everything will be better. I had less than $400 in my bank account at this time, and it was winding down to nothing again. And I had just borrowed money, bought this program, and I'm like, okay, I need help. I need help. Please just guide me. Woke up and I got an email. It said, how to attract clients with your story. High-paying clients with your story. And I was like, well, I would like high-paying clients. Number one, and I don't care. I probably have horrible stories, but it's okay. Like, I want clients. So I watched this dude's webinar, and the program was $2,400. I bought it on a payment plan with my last $400. And the next week, by implementing all the lessons I had learned, I ended up making my first $6,400. So I look back on that experience and think, well, Jim, I really appreciate that because he kept me going. I wouldn't have gotten to the place of desperation enough to find the inspiration. Sometimes we need to get desperate enough to listen, to tune in, so that we can tune out all the noise, all the chaos, and fully trust ourselves and our higher power. And in order to do that, sometimes we have to hit rock bottom. But the cool thing is who decides what your rock bottom is? You do. So next time you're moving forward in life and you find opposition, well, remember Jim, he says, talk to 10, get 1, talk to 10, get 1. Talk to 10, get 2, you get better. Talk to 10, get 3. And those who are really good, you talk to 10 to get 3 and maybe even 4. And as you realize the power of learning skills, that as you improve your skills and you decide that no longer are you going to be a victim to the things around you, but you step in with faith, with dedication and commitment and do what it takes. Maybe it's going and talking to random people. Maybe it's learning those lessons before we listen. And I will be forever grateful for that experience. Would I go back and do that again? Heck no, it's the most illogical thing ever. But I needed to experience it in order to learn the lesson, in order to listen and get led to the thing, that missing piece for me. And with aligning, with skill set, with all of it together, I was able to finally break through that barrier of struggle and start gaining momentum. So no matter what you're doing, where you're at, realize there's always a barrier and there's always a solution. You just have to be willing to do what it takes to find it. I want to thank you for joining me today. If this is helpful for you, like and subscribe, share it with somebody. And next time you're going throughout the day and you're like, okay, what do I need? Instead of blaming someone else, instead of blaming your coach, your spouse, or trying to think like they did it or I wish they would help more, that's blame. Own it. Be 100% responsible for your successes or your failures. And as you can do that and fully embrace the skills, go in, put in the effort, put in the numbers, and eventually you will succeed. Now, on a top note of that, if you have learned about the abundance alignment technique, be sure and learn that, because that'll help you. Instead of having to put in a ton of repetition and passion, you can align so that those allergic and addicted responses don't keep you struggling all the time, right? Because they're physiological things that were going on inside of me that attracted exactly what I got. So could someone else have talked to the exact same people with my exact same message? They probably would have gotten different results, probably would have gotten sales, but I didn't, because of my body, my mind. And I was literally allergic to the idea of having someone pay me money and addicted to the idea of struggle. So what did I do? I'm a very powerful creator, and so are you. You have created what you get in life. And if you're that powerful to create something you don't want, imagine what happens when you start to use that power for something you do want. It's incredible. So thank you for joining me on this journey. This is Tyler Watson, for those of you who don't know me. Like and subscribe, and if you would like any other types of videos on any type of content or want more reviews on different techniques, drop a comment below. Let me know if this is helpful. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.